My stepmom said, "Don't expect anything when your father dies," but she didn't know about the trust fund he set up in my name. Veronica married my dad when I was 9, 3 years after mom died. She was 28 to his 52, which should have been my first clue. Dad was a successful commercial real estate developer, with properties across the Midwest. Veronica was a yoga instructor he met at the country club. Within 6 months, they were engaged. Within a year, she'd redecorated our entire house, erasing every trace of my mother. The comments started small. Observations about how much I ate, suggestions that maybe I should try harder in school, little digs about my clothes, my hair, my existence. Dad never noticed, or pretended not to. By the time I was 14, she'd stopped pretending to like me entirely. "Your father and I are building a life together," she'd say. "You're just passing through." When I turned 16, I overheard her on the phone with her sister. "The brat gets nothing," she laughed. "I've made sure of that. Once he goes, everything comes to me." I stood frozen in the hallway, my stomach dropping. Dad had always promised he'd take care of my education, my future, but I'd seen how Veronica operated. She had him wrapped around her finger. That night, I checked my email and found something from a law firm, an automated notification about a trust fund review. My grandfather had set up trusts for his grandchildren before he died. I'd never heard about it. The balance was $340,000, distributed when I turned 25, or immediately if needed for education. I said nothing. For the next 2 years, I watched Veronica spend Dad's money on designer handbags and spa weekends. She convinced him to sell the lake house where Mom and I used to fish every summer. She persuaded him to skip my high school graduation because they had tickets to Monaco. "You understand?" Dad said apologetically. "Veronica really needs this trip." When I got into Northwestern, I asked Dad about tuition. He looked uncomfortable. "We'll figure something out," he promised. That night, I heard them arguing. "She's your responsibility until 18, Veronica said sharply. "After that, she's on her own." I activated the trust fund the next morning, used it for tuition, housing, everything. I never asked my dad for another cent. Senior year of college, Dad called. He sounded weak. Stage 4 pancreatic cancer. 6 months, maybe less. "I need to talk to you about your future," he said. "It's fine," I interrupted. "I know Veronica's inheriting everything." He died 3 months later. I attended the funeral and sat in the back. Veronica wore an elegant black dress and designer sunglasses, crying dramatically. At the will reading, she sat at the head of the table, confident and composed. The lawyer read through the documents. The house went to Veronica, the investment accounts, the remaining properties. Everything tallied to about $4.2 million. Then the lawyer cleared his throat. "However, there are some accounts that were never transferred to joint ownership." He looked at me. Mr. Harrison maintained 3 separate investment accounts in his daughter's name. These were funded annually since her birth and have grown to approximately $890,000. Veronica's face went white. Additionally, the lawyer continued, there's a life insurance policy of $500,000 with the daughter listed as sole beneficiary. The room went silent. Veronica turned to stare at me, her expression shifting from shock to fury. "That's impossible," she hissed. "The documents are clear," the lawyer said calmly. I stood up, gathered my things, and walked toward the door. As I passed Veronica, I paused. "You were right," I said quietly. "I shouldn't have expected anything when Dad died. Lucky I didn't have to." She tried calling 47 times that week. I blocked her number. Then came the lawyers, claiming I'd manipulated my father. Every case was dismissed. Last month, I heard she'd blown through her inheritance in 2 years on her new boyfriend. She's working at a gym now. I'm finishing my MBA and managing my investments carefully. I never answered those calls.